Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Enigmatica 6, episode number 12. So we left off, our bees, they're running good. Everything is running pretty smoothly. Haven't had any, super issues. Our inventory is a little bit full just because, I'm out of inventory space over here, but we'll fix that a little bit later. I'm not worried about it. Today's goal. We need to try to maximize our resources that we are getting from our bees. So I think we're going to move our initial setup here of our smelteries and stuff like that. I think we're going to break these, and we are going to work on 3 times ore processing. Because as we're sitting right now, we are generating two times the processing. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to do it with our friends in Mekanism, right? We're going to go ahead. We're going to put our chunks into a purification chamber. Purification chamber is going to go into an enriching factory. Enriching factory will go into a smeltery. We are going to take our ultimate tanks here that we've been collecting oxygen into. We're going to pump the oxygen into the purification chamber. Purification chamber is going to put our pieces into our enriching factory. Enriching factory will go into our elite smelting factory. Our smelting factory will export out into an interface. So we're just going to get rid of these things. We're going to need we're going to need this space. And then we're going to I think we'll probably run power underneath. I was considering actually running this a little bit differently than normal. I thought about maybe trying to do this with XNet as opposed to our standard cables and stuff like that. I mean, we're still going to use our exporter over here. No, so we're gonna repurpose this exporter, and we'll fix the dire wire later. So for sure, the only thing that we're gonna reconnect is, we're gonna go ahead and put him here for sure, and then we'll stick our power wires underneath. Well, now the question really becomes, do we want to put our power wires underneath, or do we want to use XNet? We haven't used XNet yet in the pack, but it's a really powerful mod that lets you be able to interface back to other things. You can do multiple controllers. You have multiple channels of things that you can do. So I thought we might do something like that. I thought that might be kind of fun. It's a little bit different. There, so we're gonna do that. And the way that this is gonna work is we are gonna go into our exporter. Again, we're just gonna look at chunks, and we'll do iron first because I'm out of iron again. So we're going to put an iron chunk in here, and what should start happening is we're going to configure our sides so that we're going to input out the back side. Let's see, back side is going to be our input. We're not going to worry about everything else, and we're just going to output out the right. I mean, all we're gonna do is we are going to input items into this from this guy. We are also going to take our gases though, and we're going to input from the right. Okay, because what we need for this to work properly. So if we take a look at our chunk. Then we take a look at our purification chamber. Maybe. So purification chamber requires oxygen, with a chunk, and you get 3 iron clumps. You take those iron clumps and you run them into a actually it's a crusher, and you take the crusher, you enrich the material from the crusher. You get your dirty dust, you get your iron dust when you enrich it, and then you just do the normal process. So we're actually going to need one more machine. So let's get rid of you and you. We're going to need one more machine in this line of things that I wasn't thinking about. So we're going to do our smelting factory, our enriching factory, and then we're going to put a crusher right here. So do not have a spare crusher at the moment. The only crusher we have is this one over here. So I'm going to make that off camera. I'll be back. All right, guys, welcome back. So I went ahead and I made the elite crushing. I made a crushing factory, and I went ahead and upgraded it to an elite. I just ran some temporary power over here because I realized I wasn't connected, and I also ran a temporary cable over to here because I realized that wasn't connected as well. So what we've got going on right now, so here we're importing our iron chunks into our purifier. Purifier is making them iron clumps, which, wow, that's going kind of slow to be fair. Oop, I need to put some upgrades in it. Okay, that's I'm like, wow, so that's pretty bad. So what should happen here is that this guy, when it completes this process, it will export out to our enriching chamber. Any second, hopefully. Second fig. So, well, it would if I enabled it. So input, output, auto eject on. So he comes over into here. He auto outputs over to here, and then she smelts. And then really all we need to do at this point is really probably just toss probably like an interface down over here as the end of the line. So let's go ahead and make an interface real quick. Missing a couple cables. How have I not taught this thing how to make cables? So we're gonna let that craft. The other thing that I did in between cuts is I went ahead and made myself another 64K storage disk, just so we could start, so we could get things processing properly. Let's take a look. So now for every clump that we get, we're getting 3 ingots worth. Interface. Come. You should be done. Where's my interface? There we go. So we're going to take our interface. We're just going to throw it right down in the back side of our smelting factory here. So we're just going to do that. Now, and then this guy, he's just going to auto import right into that. And if we grab a couple cables, boop, boop, it will get sucked straight into our system. And we'll put some speed upgrades inside of this because we're going to upgrade all of these things. For this guy here, so he uses oxygen for every operation. We're gonna do some damage to our oxygen reserves, right? So one of the items that we can do is we can go ahead and make some gas upgrades. And I've already taught the system how to make them. And since we can only put 6 of them in at any given time, we're going to make some gas upgrades. We're going to throw it in. Then we're not using nearly as much oxygen as we need to, because remember, right now we're only generating all of our oxygen from this guy here. So we should probably actually put him into dump excess so that we're generating oxygen, because we're going to need it. Because otherwise we're going to be burning through this stuff pretty fast. So we're just going to go ahead, upgrade. All the upgrades are... gas upgrades aren't done yet. Let's take a look. Oh, looks like it might have just finished. Or the first one. So now we won't be using as much gas, but we really need these. So I will be right back once these are done. Alright guys, we're back. I went ahead and made, so we got the rest of our gas upgrades. And I also realized I didn't have any of the other upgrades in this thing as well. So went ahead and made some energy upgrades. Went ahead and made some speed upgrades. And now we should be flying through stuff. The problem is we're going to hit a point here where we are not generating enough oxygen. So we are really slamming this thing pretty hard. So we probably are going to need to take out some speed upgrades because this is not keeping up. This guy here is just not keeping up fast enough, so we're having a net loss. So the way to do that is you want to click on here and just select the exit button, and that just will slowly start pulling out. So let's check here. What we want to see is a net gain. So where is our balance line between our losses versus our gains? Let's do 4. Nah, we're still kind of at a net loss. So maybe we'll bump this thing down to 3. 3 speeds. Wow. Can I put speed upgrades inside of this thing? I can. Let's there we go. Now we're getting a net gain of oxygen. Of course, we've used all of our speed upgrades, but it's fine. We can always make more. In fact, I already made more. We'll just pop. There. Let's just do the thing. Let's see how much of a hit. Oh, we're not taking a hit at all. Okay, we're good. We're probably using a crap ton of energy. Let's see how much you generating. You're producing 25,000 RF a tick right now. Are we still losing fuel? Yes, we are. Okay, I am going to take a look at our fuel consumption and things, and I am going to work on trying to balance this a little bit. But what we're going to do is we're just going to let this thing run passively. We'll let it run in the background. Put in all of our ores already. So yeah, so we are completely set up for ore tripling at this point, guys. So we're just going to let this thing run. I don't think our power consumption is going to be a problem at the moment. I think the issue we're going to have is generating our ethylene fuel fast enough. Because, let's see, are we getting a net gain or are we losing? We are definitely losing. So I'm going to work on this and I will be back, guys. Okay, so we have some semi-balance. It's not 100%, but it's better. So we're just processing all of our ores. Right now it's kind of doing iron, so as soon as it's done cleaning out my iron over here, it will move on to the next chunk that we have in there. Our guy over here is still losing some ethylene. I'm hoping that it burns through all of the power before this, though. So I mean, I've got a big chunk of power that's built up here. So I'm hoping I don't lose power to all of this stuff, at least until it's done processing things. But I think what I want to do now, though, is I think I want to kill a wither. The reason we want to kill a wither is because we want to increase our apiary speed. Our apiary speed's a little bit slow, but just to help get us our things. But I figured we'll kill a wither. We're gonna make ourselves some cement blocks. I think it's wither. So this is what, so we want to make this immune to the wither. So we want to make some rebar concrete blocks. So that's just some metal bars. So let's grab, I don't know, couple stacks. I really don't know how much of this stuff we're gonna need. We're gonna do uses with them. And we're gonna go back to our concrete blocks. This guy. We need gas concrete. For that, we need concrete. We need sand, gravel, and some water. I was really hoping we were going to be able to use this as an item. But we're not. I'm going to craft all of this stuff off camera. I'm going to craft a bunch of the concrete blocks for the wither, and we'll come back once I've got a bunch of these, probably a stack crafted, and we'll go from there. Okay, I've got 2 stacks of blocks, and I went down to bedrock where I have been mining in the past. We're gonna go ahead and work on building a wither containment thing here. And we'll go ahead and do a quick fight of one of the withers. Yes, I'm well aware this is cheating him. I'm perfectly okay with this. I never remember how big this needs to be. I don't remember if I want to say it's like a 3x3 inside, so outside dimensions are something like this, I think. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. I mean, I'm really hoping that I have this correct. I'm kind of feeling that I need to drop this thing. So would this work is the question. Let's see. So if we I'm kind of feeling this is a bad idea. Kind of feeling like this is a bad idea right here, but the Wither is a multi-block guy, right? I mean, we should be able to do this. And here we go. It's bad. All I have is an osmium sword. There we go. He's angry. I'm gonna sit here and wail on him for a little bit. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so he is almost dead. Pretty much just been doing this the whole time. Gotcha. We have our first nether star. Hype. All right. So I'm probably gonna do this a bunch more times off of camera for the record, but we're not going to do that right now. But it's good to know we can now cross killing the Wither off of our list. And the whole reason we wanted to do this was because it's all about speed for our bees. Also, there's a sword I would like to get. So if we take a look at the mod at Wither, you can make an immolation blade. This requires 2 nether stars. So it's kind of cool. 13 base damage, you know, it's pretty nice. I kind of really like this one, so I'm probably going to do some of these here for a little while, and yeah, and then I will be back. But the other thing that we wanted to do, is we want to we're going to open our curio. Out of power. Okay. So the question is going to be, what do we need to do to upgrade our apiary as well? Because I would love to get at least a tier 2. A couple tier 4 hives. 2 tier 1 apiaries. So we'll probably work off that off camera. I'm going to go kill the Wither a couple more times, and we'll be back. Alright guys, so we just went ahead and killed our third Wither. Because again, I really just kind of wanted this sword. This sword looked really cool. Make it easier to to kill the wither, I think, here in the future. And so we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to make that because I want it. Add wither. I kind of want this one. It looks cooler. You know, it's got 4,000 durability. Just looks freaking awesome. So, yeah. Guys, I'm going to take a look and see what we're going to do next, and we'll go from there. Be back in a minute.